In this scene, we're introduced to Michelle, a middle-class woman in her 30s. Michelle is newly pregnant and seeing her doctor for a prenatal visit. She has heard mixed messages about drinking alcohol in pregnancy and is ambivalent about stopping completely. This scenario emphasizes the importance of asking all women about substance use, regardless of age, social and economic status, and education level. The physician gathers information using an informal interviewing style, which helps to establish safety in the relationship. The physician also assesses Michelle's readiness to change in terms of importance and confidence and provides information in a respectful way. Your health history sounds fine and you're setting yourself up for a healthy pregnancy. Can I ask you a couple more questions about lifestyle?
Sure.
Tell me a bit about your diet.
Oh, I eat really well. Lots of fruit, veggies, protein.
That's great. And of course, calcium supplements are important and folic acid. Are you taking a prenatal vitamin?
Oh, yeah.
Great. So it sounds like you're doing well in the area of nutrition. What about cigarettes? Did you smoke before you knew you were pregnant?
I quit about a year ago.
That's great. Yeah. And what's your goal once the baby's born?
Well, I'm not planning on starting up again, so this time it's for good.
Okay. And your partner, does he smoke?
He quit well before me.
So that's a big change that the two of you have made, which, I mean, is really good for your health and the health of your baby.
Yeah, we're both really liking the benefits.
That's great. And alcohol. Did you drink alcohol before knowing you were pregnant?
Yeah, but nothing crazy. Usually a glass or two of wine with dinner a couple nights a week.
And any changes since finding out about the pregnancy?
Not sure what you mean.
You know, a lot of women have heard mixed messages about alcohol use in pregnancy. What have you heard about it?
Well, in general, you know, it's not a good thing, but I've been told by a number of people, and my friend's a nurse, and she has kids, and she said a glass once in a while is no big deal. I think it's more of an issue with women that party on the weekends, you know, heavy drinkers.
And you're right about that. Drinking a lot at one time is a concern. Can I tell you a little bit more about what we know about alcohol in pregnancy?
Yeah, sure.
From the research, we know that there actually is no safe time or safe amount of alcohol to drink when pregnant.
So are you telling me that if I've had a glass of wine while I've been pregnant now, I've already hurt my baby?
You know, many women have had a drink of alcohol before knowing that they were pregnant and have raised similar concerns. The important thing is that you're eating well, you know, you're getting your rest, you're managing your stress. So the decisions that you make from here are really important in terms of your health and the health of the fetus.
Okay, so not even an occasional drink?
There just is no safe amount that we know of. And I guess the question you need to ask yourself is to think about, is it worth the risk?
Well, when you put it that way, no, it's not. I guess I just didn't think a glass of wine once in a while was a really big deal.
It's new information for you.
Yeah, that's a lot to think about.
Well, maybe to help us both think about and to figure out where you're at with that, having this new information, can I ask you a couple questions?
Okay.
Okay. Knowing this information now in terms of the risk, how important is it for you to make changes to your alcohol use during your pregnancy on a scale of 0 to 10, 10 being very important?
Well, I guess after what you said, I'd say about an 8.
And why an 8 and not a 0?
Well, when I first came in, I guess I would be a 3, and that's just because, you know, everybody keeps telling me, including healthcare professionals, that having a glass of wine once in a while was no big thing, you know? And then, you know, you asked me, is it worth the risk? And I realized it totally isn't. I don't want to take any chances.
So your thinking's shifting.
Yeah.
Now, in terms of your confidence to be able to make that change, again, a scale 0 to 10, 10 being very confident, how confident are you that you can make that change?
Honestly, I think about a 7. And, well, I think the reasons why, you know, I need a little bit more information. You know, I really need to understand this so I can talk to my husband about it and explain it to him, you know, so he can support me in this decision. And I guess also, you know, if he continues to drink as well at dinner, you know, that would kind of tempt me a little bit, and it might be a little bit hard.
So if your partner were to continue to drink, you wouldn't be so confident that you would be able to make those changes.
Yeah, well, it's something we really enjoy doing together too, so.
So on the one hand, it's something that you and your partner enjoy and something that you do together and spend some downtime. On the other hand, you know, that sounds like there are some concerns there, and you don't want to be taking that risk.
Right.
I wonder if I gave you some information, if you might want to share it with your partner and think about it together.
Oh yeah, I could use some more information for sure.
Okay. And another option is, if it suits you, to bring your partner in with you the next appointment, and we can talk about it together and see if there's any questions that I can help answer.
That's a really good idea. I'm not really sure if I could explain it to him as well as you could.
Okay, that sounds good. So you let me know what works for you,
Okay.
and we can set that up.
Okay, great.
Healthcare providers have a role in educating and intervening with all women, especially women of childbearing age, and that we know that those interventions should take place before, during, and after pregnancy. We know from very good Canadian research that although almost all doctors know about fetal alcohol syndrome and understand it, that only about 50% feel comfortable intervening and then doing supportive care for women who identify having issues in these areas. In actual practice, what we do is we try to divide it out into 4 steps. The first step is to talk to women. The second step is to try to identify those women who may be at risk. The third step is with those women to discuss the underlying issues and start forming a plan. And the fourth step is to support them where they are now and help them move along that continuum. There are standard tools available, such as Tweak or TACE, but we know that often a conversational approach, a more casual approach to the conversation, will actually be best for many women. It will help create trust between the physician and the woman, and it'll give you a foundation to build on as you actually start talking about the more difficult areas. Next, we need to identify those who may need help reducing drinking and other substance use. And we need to ask about alcohol use, both before and during pregnancy. We know that women's self-reports, when it's asked in a non-judgmental way, are very accurate. Studies have shown that repeatedly. So we can trust what women tell us about what their experience has been. We also know that it helps to take a strength-based approach. So instead of looking at the negative, look at the positive. So for example, if a woman does say that she's having problems with alcohol at this point, I might say, tell me about a time when alcohol wasn't a big part of your life. What was different then? And how can we build on the strengths that you could identify from that time? The next thing is to discuss the level and the type of changes that women are ready to make, and to balance the information about the risks with her sense of self-efficacy. It's helpful to explore both her sense of how important it is to change and how confident she is that she can make those changes. Sometimes it's very useful to think about those things on a scale of 0 to 10. We often will call this a change ruler or a readiness ruler. And I think this is a very good tool for physicians to use. First of all, because it's very quick, very time effective, but it's also very good as a motivational tool as well. The final area is support. And we need to support women by keeping the dialogue open so that they know it's safe to talk about it throughout their pregnancy and after the pregnancy. And we also know that it's really important that we help women find the supports they need within the community or within the wider healthcare system. I think it's very important that physicians realize that they do not need to do this on their own. And that's one of the big fears that physicians have. If I find this problem, how will I manage it? And what will I do to really be successful and help this woman be successful? Well, we really have to think of this as a very systemic approach where everyone is working together for the best possible outcome.